If you are someone with big dreams and plans that you keep struggling to follow through with and you're just disappointed in yourself for not accomplishing them, I totally understand how you feel. I feel the same way too often. The good news is the reason we're disappointed in ourselves is because we know that deep down inside we are capable of so much more. If we haven't met yet, my name is Annette Bedding-Fuentes, or Annette Smiles, and I feel like I want to be open and honest with the fact that I've recorded this a few days ago, and it took me like 2 hours to go through this whole thing, and I was overthinking, and I didn't ever post it, and I didn't like it. So this is me putting into practice, just going through this, sharing with you what I have. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be really helpful. The way this is going to work is I am making this 3 parts because there's a lot of things that I wanted to cover. As I go through the different parts of the vision planning, I am using a workbook that I created. If you would like, there is a link in the description for you to download it. It is not required. I'm going to make sure that I explain things in a way and you see things in a way that you could do it in your own notebook or on your computer. But I created this workbook because it's helpful for me to write things in, whether you have an iPad, a computer, you can also print it out. It's just a helpful tool. So without further ado, grab your friends, grab something cozy, grab a warm drink, make your environment for doing this vision planning really enjoyable. This is something that I want you to look forward to and I want you to enjoy. So let's dive into part 1, vision. Why is vision important? I started a business called the Vision Mastermind, and I put vision in the name because I feel like it's really helpful when we take time to define for ourselves what we see in our lives, the world that we want to be a part of, the world that we want to create. It gives us this like power and momentum for kind of the direction that we're going. I think there's also something really powerful about vision specifically, that my vision, what I see, is unique to me. I can describe it to other people and bring people in on my vision, but not everyone's going to understand it because they're not behind my eyeballs. Vision to me is the foundation for building our goals, creating our plans, and for living a full life. Our vision isn't something that's over there that we're going to get to. Our vision is something that we actively do and create every single day. So a couple kind of rules that I find helpful when writing your vision. In the workbook, it's titled Writing Your Vision. Here are some keys. It will always be a rough draft that can be changed. I feel like as a recovering perfectionist, I want it to be beautifully written and complete. But the truth is, a good vision is something that you're always revising as you learn and grow. That being said, it also doesn't have to be perfect or complete. By nature, it's going to be imperfect, and allowing yourself to just have something is better than wanting it to be perfect. As you're writing it, get as detailed as possible. If you're talking about this vision where you're creating something, and you can get as detailed into what you're feeling and who is going to be celebrating with you and where it's going to be, all those details are going to make it more real to you. When you're writing, it's also helpful to write it in present tense. This is, I think, for me, more of a preference, but when you write in present tense, you automatically start to embody what that feeling is like. You also embody already living in that vision when you're writing in present tense. Make sure that your vivid descriptions include emotion, and you're also give yourself permission for your vision part to be big and wild. Like, what are the things in your brain that you're embarrassed to say out loud because it seems impossible? The more we talk about them, the more that we share these big wild dreams, the more real they become. The last part, no one else gets to define your vision. They can inspire it, they can encourage it and support it and give input, but at the end of the day, your vision is unique to you. So now for the fun part. Let's get to writing your vision. Before we do any of these frameworks, I want to start by inviting you to just brainstorm your biggest, wildest vision. There's no timeline, there's no restrictions, but when you think about your best life, When you think about waking up and being just so grateful and so happy, what are the things that are happening in your life? This is a helpful way to start because I want you to just expand your mind and think as crazy and wild as you can. If you're doing this with some friends, I would recommend take some time to do your own writing and then share with each other and challenge each other as you share to dream bigger. After you've taken some time to write your big wild vision, we're gonna come back and look at a few frameworks that can help you get really specific on a timeline of what that vision might look like in the next year. We're gonna start with kind of the most structured and detailed and go to frameworks that are a little bit more free-flowing. For the most structured, there is a framework that I found in a book called Something of the Extraordinary Mind. I'll write the name somewhere. In it, he references a practice of the 12 areas of life, which was by another author. I'll put that information here somewhere. The idea being that there are 12 categories that we want to have success in. In the workbook, there's 12 areas of life A and 12 areas of life B. These are just 2 examples of lists that you can use. For 12 areas of life A, it's love relationships, health and fitness, career, friendships, intellectual life, creative life, adventures, skills, family life, environment, spiritual life, and community life. For 12 areas of life B, it's health and fitness, intellectual life, emotional life, character, spirituality, romance, family, social life, financial life, career, quality of life, and overall vision. You can take one of these lists and start writing, or you could also take a few from these different lists and start writing. The point of using one of these frameworks is to give you a lens to see your vision through. When you think about your family life in the next year, when you think about your creative life in the next year, or your environment, get really specific in that area of what you want that to look like within the next year. The next one is one that I really enjoy because you're creating now those categories for yourself. So there's a framework in the Design Your Life workbook where they have these 4 areas of life, which are love, health, play, and work. I recommend in each of those 4 categories, choose 2 or 3 areas that you would want to focus on this year. For example, in the love category, you could focus on your romantic relationship, your friendship, your family relationships, maybe communities that you're a part of. Love could also be self-love. Health might be your physical health, your nutrition, your mental health. If you have any kinds of health conditions. For play, this could be hobbies, skills you're wanting to gain. Play would also be the kind of recreation you want, maybe trips or travel, adventures, exploring, ways that you would like to have fun and find play in your life. And the last category is work. Yes, this might be your career goals and trajectory, or maybe a position you want or a promotion you want, but work could also be a volunteer position, a project outside of work, maybe you have a side hustle. Define for each of these 4 categories 2 or 3 areas that you would like to focus on this year, and you're gonna deep dive into those areas, write it as if it's happening right now, and get, again, really detailed as you write about these different areas. The next one in the workbook is by month. The idea here is write out in each month what you see happening to make it an amazing month. The goal here is to get really specific about what celebrations are happening, what are you accomplishing. What you accomplish in February is going to look really different from what you accomplish in September. This is creating your timeline of your vision for the next year in words. This next one is great for someone who loves creative writing. This is writing a letter to yourself, but you are writing it as if it's the end of next year and you are writing to your current self. You're reporting back to you right now with all the things that you've accomplished. In the workbook, I kind of split it up where first it could be helpful to outline what are some of the things that are going to happen this year that you would want to celebrate or share. And then next, actually kind of sitting down and writing, "Dear Annette of 2022, I'm so excited to share with you that blah, 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 blah." And again, have fun here. Talk about all the things that were good, that were challenging, things that you overcame. The second option for this kind of creative writing letter is to write a letter from your current self to that future self, so to the person at the end of the year. For this one, you're more looking at what is the commitment that you're wanting to make? What investments are you planning to make this year? Let them know where you're spending your time, where you're going to be spending your energy, what sacrifices you want to make, what celebrations you want to have. Now, for anyone who just wants to write a vision and brain dump ideas, this last one's for you. I would pose the question of, who am I at my best? Another question that I've found really inspiring is asking myself, who am I when I allow myself to be the main character of my story? Because let's be honest, we're all the main characters of our stories. We just don't always let ourselves act like it. As you ask yourself these questions, who am I at my best? Or what's my main character energy? Think about, what is it that you do when you're embodying this person? What do you achieve? How do you show up? What is your kind of physical body doing? How does it feel? What characteristics do you embody? Who do you spend time with? What are you spending your time doing? These are all kind of prompts that you can use to just journal and write out this vision. And this is for anyone who doesn't love rules or guidelines and you just want to brain dump some ideas. The last one for my creative friends is creating a vision board. And you can do it by cutting out magazines and gluing things down. I have never felt super creative in that field, so I downloaded this app that I spent like a few hours one night and like didn't sleep and created my vision board, which is now the background of my phone. Creating a vision board is something that you can actually see and it's tangible, and making it the background of my phone made it so that I see it every single day. I'm reminded of these things that I'm wanting to create, these things that I'm wanting to embody. So as we close out this first portion of the planning for 2023 extravaganza, there's a couple notes I have for activating your vision. You've done the writing, you've done the work. Now what? Put it somewhere that you see it regularly. So the background of my phone is my vision board. Writing out parts of your vision and having it on your wall somewhere. Maybe you frame it and put it on your desk. Another is by reading it aloud daily. This is something that I'm pretty sure Tony Robbins says, is that you should be like writing it over and over again, reading it every day. Have a statement that you can just remind yourself of. If you have some trusted friends, you can swap visions with them and share it with them. Make it a part of your conversation. The more you talk about and put energy into your vision, the more energy it has to become reality, especially with friends. It's really fun to build visions with friends. If you're brave, you can publish it somewhere online. You can put it on social media, just somewhere kind of out and in the world so that it exists. People who find it can be inspired by the vision that you're working on. You might also choose to memorize it. Have it be words that you repeat all the time to yourself. Maybe it's a mantra, maybe it's a poem, maybe it's just 4 sentences that embody what your vision is. I also would recommend to schedule time in your calendar, put a reminder to review it regularly. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe once a month, you and your friends get together and you read through your vision again and you can talk about, am I closer? Am I there yet? Give your vision your attention. Helps activate it and make it really powerful. The last one is creating a visual presentation, aka a vision board, and that's something that you can put somewhere as well. Take a big breath and just like give yourself some love and appreciation for taking the time to work on your vision. To me, the vision is the fun part. This is the drafting, the dreaming, the exploring, but it's just as important as all the other steps. You can't have a plan if you don't know what the vision is. If you try to start putting things into practice and building habit, but you don't have a clear understanding of the foundation of what's inspiring you, it's going to be really hard to follow through. Next, I'll be sharing part 2, which is putting your plan together. This is a little bit more tactical and taking these dreams and making them realistic and making it something that you can accomplish. And the last one in this series will be about the practice, talking about what is it that you're doing every day consistently to execute on the plan. That's the step that I know I always was getting stuck on, so I'm really excited to share some incredible tools that can help you accomplish what you're wanting to. The last thing I'll mention is I will be hosting some workshops throughout the year that help us dig into this. I host the Vision Mastermind every quarter, but this specific vision plan and practice is something that I'm really excited to do more of. Take a look at the description to find out when the next workshops are going to be. I love having these conversations, and I just feel like there's so much magic that happens when we share our visions with other people. So whether that's you in a room with your friends, or you and me, or a group of strangers coming together to have some of these conversations, I just know that that's where so much magic happens. Congratulations on finishing your vision. And if it's not done, don't worry. It's always a draft, always a work in progress, and always something that you can come back to. The point is, you're here, you're starting, you're doing the work. Don't let this be the end of the conversation. It's just the beginning. Keep talking, keep dreaming and exploring and sharing with others. I can't wait to see you in the next one.